What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with All on Black here. We're back with our 10K challenge. We're doing well so far. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do Spread Your Streets as well as one of my favorite 9 Street versions. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how we play through those. I'm going to show you the progressions that we're going to be using for our 9 Street as well as our Spread Your Streets. So if you haven't played those before, make sure you pay attention. And also, I'm happy to announce we are now partnered with Raised Casino. It's amazing. Just for signing up, $50 your way. I'll tell you more about it later. All right, let's go. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off actually with one of my favorites, Centipede 3, if not slowly becoming my favorite strategy. Been doing very well with it. We're going to do that. We're going to be a little bit aggressive on the progressions. I'm going to show you 2 different styles of progressions here, and you can we'll play with it a little bit. And you can see our balance here is $122.36. Okay, so we're doing Centipede 3, which starts at the 3rd street. That's why we call it Centipede 3. Starts at the 3rd street, goes all the way to the 31st street. You're covering 9 streets, 1 unit each. In this case, our unit is 10 cents for 90 cents. And when we win on 27 number or 9 streets, you get 3 units profit. So we will profit 30 cents. Right now with $122, 10% of that is 12. 5% of that is $6. So we're roughly going for a $6 profit today. And we're going to try to do it in about 15 minutes. So we might have to get a little bit more aggressive with this. Again, you should take a little bit more time. We're still in a very precarious position with our bankroll. I'm pushing it because I don't want these videos to go very long and I still want to hit our target. The more time you can invest, slow grind, low bets, take breaks, time yourself every 15, 20 minutes, get up, take a break, come back, hit those sessions. Don't worry so much about a target profit, I suggest. Just play by time, and when you're done. Stop, pencils down, and move on. Okay, there we go. So you can see we're already up 60 cents. Here we go. So yeah, we're looking at somewhere around $4 to $6 profit in this session, and I would be very, very happy. Okay, that would give us somewhere between 3 and 5%, which, as I've said before, I'll say it again if you're new, 10% to me as a target is the max, unless you're very experienced, 10%. But I don't like that 10%. I think if you want to be sustainable and get consistent victories, go for that 3 to 5% daily target. That's great. And that's just something you're shooting for. Even better than that, I think if you time box it and go, I'm only going to play 15-minute increments, and wherever I'm at, that's where I'm at. Stop. I think that's a really good way of adding a little bit of self-control to what you're doing so that you don't chase. It also takes a little of that pressure off of going, oh, I need to get to $6. I need to get 5. Yes, that's our target. We'd like to get there, but at the end of the day, if we're in profit at all, hey, take it. You don't have to push it to keep going and going and going. All right, enough about that. Let's keep going. We are winning. So this is Centipede 3. Again, we're making 30 cents total profit. That's 3 units in this case. You can put whatever units you want. And as I explained in previous videos, speak in units, not so much in actual currency. Because if you speak in units, it's translatable to whatever dollar amount or currency amount you put in there. Then you know what your ratios are, and you can determine what your base unit is. And then you'll automatically know, oh, it's 2 units there, 1 unit here, 3 units there. You don't have to do the math ahead of time going, oh, well, I played it and it was 75 cents there. You don't have to do that. All right, we lost. What we're going to do now is we're going to use the initial hero progression. We're going to double it up plus add 1 unit. And what this is going to do is this is going to get us into recovery in 1 hit. Now, if I have more time, I don't mind so much the original progressions. If you remember from the 100K challenge where we martingale the first time, a 2x. If we win that, we drop it down to base bet. It would take us 2 spins to break even. This one takes us 1 spin to break even. Okay, so this is more aggressive, but you start earning profit faster because it saves you spins, right? And if we did a regular martingale, we would have to spin again right now before we get into profit. In this case, we'll be into profit on the second spin because we're starting all over. Okay, so speaking units, we're going to do this. And then when we're done getting towards our profit target, I'm going to switch just for a couple and go to the standard martingale and the standard progression series that I normally use, just because I want you to see it. It's a little bit safer. It's a trade-off, right? But you're doing more spins to recover, which gives you more spins in which you could lose again. But if you look at the amortization table of what the hero progression, the bets get extremely large, extremely fast compared to if you use a standard martingale, you have a lot more progressions. So it's a trade-off. The more I've been playing, I've been doing kind of a hybrid. So I do a 3x on the first loss, and then I do 4x, which is a double-double for the next couple, for the next three, and then I start bringing it back down to a 3x and a 2x. That expands my progressions. It gives me a couple more progressions at the tail than if I had just stuck with 4x, and the recovery is still pretty nice, even that deep into the progression charts. All right, there we go. We're winning right now. Look at this. We're doing great. We're 7-1. We're going to just keep repeating this and keep going. And then once we get to say $3, I'm going to switch over to spread your streets. But let's get one more win, or actually right here, if we lose again, we're going to go into a normal progression cycle so you can kind of just see what that is. You have to play around with a little bit and see what works for you most. I am excited that we are now partnered with Raised, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And let me tell you what you're going to get if you sign up as an affiliate. You're going to get $50 into your player's account just for signing up under our affiliate code, $50. Question, Brent, do I have to deposit anything to get the $50? No. Brent, question, is it a match, a percent match, or whatever? No. No match required, nothing required. You sign up as an affiliate, you're going to get $50 into your account. Okay, now you can't take that $50 and just withdraw it. Okay, that money's meant to be played there. There is a 30x rollover on that money, which means you are going to have to wager that amount of money 30 times over in order to withdraw. So in other words, you're going to have to wager at least $1,500 before you can take that money out. But if you take that 50 and take it up to 1,500, the money's all yours. My hope is that you'll put it in there and you'll continue to grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it from there. Okay, so that's my hope. What else do you get with this? You get a VIP tier transfer. So once you sign up on our affiliate link, you will literally, and there'll be instructions later on in our Discord, you will be able to bring your tier status from wherever you're at, whatever online casino you're at, you'll be able to bring your tier status over with you, and Raised will match it up with their tiers that most closely resemble where you were at another casino. All right, what else do you get? A leaderboard. There's going to be a monthly leaderboard just for our Raised affiliates, okay? So if you wager, and this is you're going to actually get the double dip here. Not only are you going to get the Raised leaderboard that's strictly for our affiliates, you get to be participating in the overall Raised leaderboard. And the cool thing about Raised is they have 100 spots on their leaderboard. So it's not just limited to the top 25. Wow, we're crushing this. It's not just limited to the top 25. It's top 100. So you can place on their leaderboard and get weekly money. And it's every week, by the way. And you can also win on our monthly leaderboard. So you can double dip. What else do you get with this? So you get $50 free. You're going to get your VIP transfer. You're going to get access to eligible for the leaderboard, both our own AOB Raised affiliate leaderboard, as well as the general Raised leaderboard. Whew, that swirled around, didn't it? All right, well, we're not losing here. I'm just going to stick with this because we are at 8 minutes here, and yeah, let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going. So when we get to about 11 minutes here, I'll keep an eye and we will switch over to spread your streets. We haven't lost yet, but I'm certainly we will lose before we get to 11, 12 minutes. And then we'll just do a normal progression. I'll show you how that works. Okay. And the biggest part about the affiliates is that if you have joined our live stream at all, you know, every single day we do 5 live streams minimum a week. You're going to be eligible for the affiliate giveaways Okay. And not only are you eligible for the affiliate giveaways, you'll also be eligible for the all hands giveaways. We do giveaways where everybody, regardless if you're an affiliate or not, whether you come off the street and just join for the first time, you're eligible to win the all hands giveaways. So you'll be eligible to win the affiliate giveaways. You'll also be eligible to win the all hand giveaways. And to pile on to that, there's our loss. Okay, so now this time what we're going to do is we're just going to double our bet. There we go. We've just martingaled our bet, standard martingale. All right. Now there's two ways you can play this. You can play it conservative and aggressive. The aggressive mode is you leave it at 2x, you win here, you leave it there again, and that would put you up one base profit unit, which in this case is 3 units. So if we leave it here twice, we will end up 30 cents more than where we left off here at the top. All right. I prefer to save my progression. So if I win here, I bring my progressions down to the original base progression. And what that's going to do is that is going to break us even. But if we lose on that second one, we're still at only our first progression, not our second. All right. We lost that. Now we are going to double up from there. It's just strictly double. So we lost, we martingaled, we doubled, we lost that one. We didn't win. We're doubling again. Now we have to stay here at this level for 2 spins, and then we can reduce our bet. So it's going to take us 3 spins to recover at this point. Okay. And that's the downside. That's where the hero progression is nice, because 1 spin gets you up, but also at the hero progression, you're, oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. 35, 135. All right. She is not doing well for us. We're going up, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's how these things spin. And give yourself, only put into the playable balance what you're willing to lose for that session. That is your automatic stop limit loss, right? Then you don't have to think about it, but just don't go back into your vault and get it. Okay. Okay. There we go. So anyway, get in our Discord. The link to sign up and the affiliate code is in our Discord. Jump in there. And the last one is we have our YouTube memberships. YouTube members, whether you're an affiliate or not, qualify. Oh my gosh. Could she hit the edges anymore? All right, here we go. We're at a $14 bet now. So when you do the standard martingale, no matter how many losses you go, for the most part, if you keep it at that level, 3 wins will get you back up, and oftentimes will get you into profit. But we're going to now need to leave it at this level for 3 spins in a row. Again, where the hero progression is nice is 1 hit, no matter where you're at these progressions, get you all the way back so you can keep moving on. All right, so there's 1. If it was a hero progression, we would have already broken even. We need to stay here and hope. And this is the downside to this type of progression, where we're staying here longer. We could win one and then lose, and then win and lose, and you're going to slowly step down. We're going to hope, though, you're covering 71% of the board, that we're going to be able to get 3 wins in a row. And because we have way more progressions than if we had the hero, we're hoping that along that level, we'll get 3 wins in a row at some time. And generally speaking, that's true. So just make sure you check out your progressions. There it is as our second win. And with the 9 streets, it doesn't matter where you hit, these all pay the same. And if you've listened to anything, if you've seen any of my videos, you know, when it comes down to my daily driver strategies, I prefer strategies that pay the same no matter where you go. Some people, you might like the banger numbers, the jackpots, where these pay lower, these pay a little bit more. And then you got a couple numbers that are just huge, and that's okay. I've done well with those, and I've also done poorly. Recovery on those can be either a serious challenge. Oh my gosh. Our luck here, she is just whacking us. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, then win, out. All right. We're going to martingale again. Man alive. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get out of it. And that's the downside here, that you could stair step, but hopefully you've gone in with a base unit that's going to give you, I would like you to have at least 10 progressions if you're going to play straight through. Okay, 10 progressions minimum if you can. All right, there we go. Now, recovery is going to be easier because we did win one. So when we win this second one, that should take us pretty much all the way back up. We're at 14 minutes. So I'm going to give ourselves the allotted extra 5 minutes so that we can recover here and move over to spread your streets because I want you to see that. I'm wanting you to see how some of these things play out so that then when you go and play, you can go, oh, you know what? When he was playing, I thought that this one played better than this one. And you kind of have a little bit of better idea about what will be successful for yourself, what matches your personality best. All right, there's a second win. See, so that gets us actually into profit, 450. And we're going to go with spread your streets. We start out, the way this one starts out is we're covering 6 streets. Now, for my version of this progressive coverage system, you need to have these in consecutive streets. You can start at the 1. It doesn't matter. You can put them over here. You can put them wherever you want. I just put them in the middle just because it's balanced. It looks balanced visually. It's not statistically any better or any worse than wherever you decide to put those streets together, okay? So that's a loss. So on the next step, on a loss, we are going to simply martingale this same bet and leave it at 6 streets, okay? Now, what do we got here? 6 streets, 18 numbers. This is right now, this is exactly the same as playing the outside even money bets, the high, low, odd, even, black, red, same coverage. So if we do win this, we will actually profit because it's the same as martingaling, right? If you bet, we're betting 60 cents base bet. If we bet that on black and lose and double it to $1.20 and then win, we are winning our base unit. We go up plus profit that amount. All right, we're at 510. Let's keep going here. Oh no, we're going to come back down to base bet now. You win. We go back down to base bet. And I'll show you what we do. If you haven't seen Spread Your Streets, my version, I'll show you what we do if we get enough losses and we're within time. I actually hope that we lose so that you can see how this goes. But we have already hit what my hope was somewhere between $4 to $6, getting us in that 3 to 5% target range for today. That was my goal. And so we're there, barring any catastrophe. All right, another win. We just win. And when you win, you just repeat your bet and keep going. We're putting a 60-cent bet down. When we win, we're profiting 6 units at this level, right? Because this is the same as an outside bet. We're covering 18 numbers. And on the outside, whatever you bet on the high, low, even, odd, black, red, that's your profit, is whatever your bet amount is. That's what you profit, okay? Here we go. So one of the mods, Robert, came up with an idea that he thought that what might be good for this would be if we set a profit target, right? And said, hey, maybe we go $50 or $25 and say, we play the same strategy over and over and over until we reach that profit target to prove that this same strategy is consistent and you can win to your profit target. And then we switch to another strategy and play that to a profit target of 25 or whatever we decide that's going to be. I really like that because then you're getting to see the consistency, because every strategy can win, lose, win, but can it win consistently? That is a key. And again, the thing that I want you to be really hyper aware of isn't, are we profiting right now? It's when we get down in the gutters here, what does the recovery look like? To me, the recovery and what that looks like and how it behaves is far more important to me than how much it profits, right? Because if I only profit 50 cents on a strategy, but it only went down 3 cents in the hole at the worst, versus this strategy, which went way down in the hole, but then we got a little bit more, you have to ask yourself, do I really like the high risk, the riskier reward, or do I want to stick with something that's safer? All right, we lost. I'm actually hoping we get another loss here because we're running out of time, and I want us to get on to the 3rd and 4th progression possibly, so you can see what we do here. Also, if you're not a YouTube member, you're going to want to get in and become a member, because we have our member only Mondays, and those are live streams just for our members. We had a packed house, the first inaugural Member Monday episode, and we won. Okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to do anyway. Let's say we had lost there. We're going to go to step 3. Step 3 is we add an extra street and we match it, which at that point was 20 cents per street, right? We started with 10 cents. We doubled it 20. We add another street and match it at 20 cents. Then we put 1 unit on the double streets, or as Casino Matchmaker loves to call it, the 6 line. And by the way, he's not wrong. That is the technical term for these. You don't even have to call it a 6 line. You can just call it a line bet. Either way. But we like the double street right here in America. America, right? Okay, so what we did is, and I'll place that bet again, we matched up this street with the last street amount, which were 2 units. We put 1 unit on the double streets in between those, and then we martingaled it from there. If we lose here, at this point, you're not going to make any other changes other than you martingale until recovery, okay? You martingale until recovery. The reason why I like this is because you got 2 shots at hitting it at the 6 number, and then you're increasing it, and the recovery is actually really, really decent on this. 2 hits on the middle. Now, if you look at this, these outside edge wins, these goalpost wins, 7, 8, 9, 28, 29, 30, they pay a little bit less than these because they're not flanked on both sides of the street is not flanked on both sides by a line bet, a double street bet. Whereas all these, the 10 through the 25 street, those are flanked on each side by a double street. Okay, so these pay better, but these are still profitable, just not as much. Okay, so we lost that. So we can see what we lost. Now we're just going to martingale this thing out until we recover. So let's see if we can hit an inside bet here, and that will end us here. We're at 21 minutes, so a little bit longer than I was hoping to go, but still within it. So give me a little bit grace. I'm just trying to show you how deep these things can go and what recovery looks like. So let's see. Ideally, I'm hoping we lose again this time. So then you can see if we lose at this level a couple times, what does recovery look like at that point? Okay. Also, there we go. There's another loss. Also, if you haven't checked it out, go to Casino Matchmaker's channel. He is finishing up with his bracket challenge of the content creator or bracket challenge. And I'm not going to spoil it, but we were a top 4. We were a semifinalist, and he dropped our video the other day, and it's up there. And I don't know when he's going to drop the other 2 finalists, but I squared off against Magic Raven, Mr. Raven. And Mr. Raven is super experienced from what I understand, and a really solid member of their Matchmakers Discord. He also has his own channel, so look up Magic Raven on his channel, and you can see he puts out strats there too. But check it out. I go head to head with Magic Raven. I'm not going to spoil it, but get over there. I'll put the link to Mr. Matchmaker's site down there. It's a great video. It's a nail biter. You're going to want to go see it. You're going to want to go check out. It was a nail biter. So all the way literally to the last couple seconds of his video, it was a toss up and on the oh my gosh. All right, this is good. You're seeing what recovery looks like. It was definitely a toss up. Even I was watching it. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen here? It was almost like a cliffhanger movie, like where they show you like a soap opera, right? It was like the Friday soap opera episode where if you've ever watched soap operas, and admittedly I did for a very long time because my mom watched soap operas. So when I would come home from school, my mom would be, doing stuff, whatever it was, and she'd be watching Days of Our Lives. So I started watching Days of Our Lives and I got hooked on it. And if you know anything about soap operas, they will drag out a storyline forever and ever and ever. Okay, let's see how this goes. Look. 1 hit, if you lose, win, lose, 1 hit gets us close enough to where I would bring our bet all the way back down to base bet. Some people like playing and leaving at that highest progression until you're in session profit. I highly recommend you don't do that, but that's just my opinion, because the worst thing that'll happen now is you leave your bet artificially high when you're so close to recovery, and then you lose again. So just go back down to base bet. Remember, progressions are life. Anyway, as a wrap up, if you haven't seen soap operas, you get down to especially on Fridays, they drag these stories out. And on Friday at the end, they leave you hanging with, okay, well, what's going to happen? And you got to wait till Monday. So go check out his video. It's almost like that, where you're just at this, what's going to happen? Fortunately enough, it plays out. And so you get to see the satisfaction of knowing how it ends. I won't spoil it for you. Go check it out. It was a brilliant battle between the 2 of us. It played out very well. I'll be anxious to see who the other two head off and what the results are from them. And then I'm sure he'll have the final one-on-one, the finalist at some point, maybe next week or something. And I'll post you guys when that is. Again, check the link. It's at the very top of this video for Mr. Casino Matchmaker's channel. Like it, subscribe it. He has some cool stuff. Go back in time, look at a lot of his original videos. There are these awesome how-to videos. It shows you a lot with that kind of cartoon drawing. I mean, he does an amazing job at it. I'm gonna have to pick his brain on how he does that. All right, that's it. Be good humans. Be good to each other, okay? Be good to each other and be good to yourself. I've said it before. It's easy to beat yourself up when you lose money, you degen, you chase losses, you break all the rules. It's easy to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Learn from it. Start, give yourself a, forgive yourself, all right? And start over and see if you can't learn from it next time. I've fallen more times than I can count. And you know what? I don't have a lot of friends, so I got to be able to live with myself. And I'm working on that, and I'm actually pretty good at that point. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you guys next time for another 10K challenge. And we're going to start just hitting the same strategy over and over until we meet a price target throughout the days, and then we'll switch so you can get some consistency. All right, cheers.